We are recording. It's time to have a fire. There's been a lot of deadfall from the giant tree that I live under, and that all has to be picked up and turned into useful wood ash and charcoal. So I started my fire, and within 3 minutes, there were construction guys working on the house like 300 feet away, ruining the sound. So here we are once again in voiceoverville, and I don't have a single thing to talk about. How about this? How about a little summation of my year, just past the year anniversary of having left Seattle, come to the coast of Washington, and getting set up in my current shack. I've seen a full year here now, so I can talk about that. Did I get what I came for? Did I find what I was looking for? Largely, yes. As the spring wore on, I gradually realized that sometime in March, the rain had stopped. The gales of winter stopped, and with them, all rain stopped. During the summer of 2021, there was one significant rainfall. It happened in June, and nothing until September, 15th. Now, I define a rain a certain way. It's got to be enough to water a potted plant. And watering a potted plant happens when the water is poured in the top until it runs actively out the bottom. Bernie, shut up. And if the rainfall doesn't do that, then I can't count it. Now, of course, I looked at rain statistics for Western Washington, and they said it rains every month of the year. They said even inches of rain are racked up during those summer months. But I find that not to be the case. There's a lot of mist, there's a lot of fog, but it doesn't give any inches of rain. It doesn't even give a hundredth of an inch of rain. So I don't know where those statistics come from. Didn't happen last year, and I might have noticed this. Didn't happen the previous summer of 20, which I spent after July in Seattle. And, I went the longest period of my life without seeing a drop of rain, over 2 months. And I was looking at people's yards and thinking about how that reminded me of Rourke's Drift. And I don't really know how I didn't realize at that point what I did come to realize in 2021, which is that Oregon, Washington are an outpost of California's Mediterranean climate. This fire is going very well, by the way. Lit with one match, an exemplary fire. I've heard all my life about how there are 5 Mediterranean climates in the world and how nice they are. But I hadn't chosen that for me because I didn't want to live in a place where it didn't rain for months on end. Turns out I discovered the 6th Mediterranean climate, Oregon, Washington. So here I am. And here's the problem, really. In a potted plant, you cannot perpetually water it with tap water. It's too much salt. You've got to have it rinsed by rainwater pretty frequently. I mean, I would have said at least a couple of times a month. Even though I had several plants survive very nicely, I guess they're a little bit salt tolerant. But I have to work this problem for next summer. I have to find a source of deionized water so that I can rinse those plants out at least once a month to get them through. a Mediterranean climate has its attractions. Um, Last summer I discovered you hardly have to mow. Once the spring growth is mowed, you can mow about once every 2 months after that. And that's pretty good because I have kind of a big property. I'm mowing for the first time. I've always hired somebody, but here I couldn't afford it because they wanted $150 a mow. The nights during the summer are fantastic. You can just be outside. There are no biting flies. You could drag your bed outside if you wanted to. You could put some furniture out and sit on it. You know, in Florida, they sell plush furniture for outside. They even sell carpets for outside. And none of that makes any sense. But here, it makes sense. There's a lot to be said for Mediterranean climate. There's a bunch of plants that are pretty well adapted to it, and I'm probably going to have a few of those in my collection as time goes by. So I look forward to making a go of it. I'm not giving up. I'm not coming back to the south. That's definitely too hot. I think if I live to be 100, I'll never cease to be amazed at how anecdotal people can be about a thing like the climate. Now, climate's hard. It's a statistical process. Statistics is hard. But, you know, how can you go on about, oh, rainy Seattle, rainy PNW, when routinely you haven't seen a drop of rain in hundreds of days? How do you tell a person from PNW they don't know a thing about rain? You don't. You just live among them. Anyway, did I get what I wanted? Grossly, yes. I might have to make some adjustments about exactly where I live. I'm still just a little scared by having the foothills of the Olympic Mountains between me and my only way out of here, if I need to be out of here. They're also between me and the only proper supermarkets, which is a little difficult. But on the other hand, look at this place. It's like being on a ship at sea. The sky just races over you all the time. The weather changes every 20 minutes. There are all these wonderful animals here. The birds are great. The deer are great. The beach. The stones that I've been collecting. You know, there's never not something fun to do here. So here I am, at least for the time being, making a go of it. Having fires. Fires are necessary here, in spite of how dangerous it is to have them in the dry time. Fire, that's another thing that people in Washington and Oregon, they just don't even think about. And that's crazy. And if the climate is warming and they're going to learn a lesson from that, then that's probably just good for them. Because if you think fires are bad in California, there's not that much left to burn in California. Here, there's so much more that can burn. And what happened in Oregon last summer to the town of Talent, which was a town that was on my radar as possibly a place to live, it was nearly obliterated by a fire. And that's town. I mean, that's not places, little hamlets in the country on hillsides. That was real town. Anyway, so here I am, making a go of it, having a fire. See ya.